For this podcast, we are going to study the first treatise, in fact, of treason. We are always in the framework of the anti-Cold War, and we are trying to find some new reasons to understand the behavior of the Soviet Union. So even before its official creation, the Soviet Union was ready to break any relation with their allies. The World War I was on its war. Its goal was totally different, and a simple way to break them was to make a treaty with the enemy. This was done with the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk of 1918. It was, of course, only something which was an intermediate and nothing more. That's why it was only the first of the succession of three treaties, with the Treaty of Berlin in 1918 and the Treaty of Rapallo in 1922. These treaties were a treason, but for the Soviets, it was only a sacrifice at the tactical level. They cut every edge of the previous coalition graph of Russia to create their own with other barbarities, which at the end will be only tools in their grand strategy. At that time, to be consistent with their goal, they contributed to the ascension of a new barbarity, i.e., the Kemalist framework. The reason was simple. Their ideologies were compatible and they had the same enemy. The Greeks were a fundamental issue due to their relation with time. The Soviets chose Barabbas to crucify the Christ. The choice of Barabbas was a detail. The important thing was to kill the Christ. Their ideology was a religion against Christianity. So the problem of Soviets at its foundations is to have a religion without God. So they think that it's possible to create a new religion without history, without faith, just with ideology. So to do this, they need to break the graph, the network of Russia. And to do this, they signed three treaties. So to be clear, what is the position with these treaties? In reality, they wanted to keep the core of their structure. So at the borders, they weren't able to control the situation. So it was a new definition. Russia at that time was too big for Soviet Union. So the idea is to keep the core, to remove some edges of the borders, to stop some revendications, and to focus on the core, to have something which is more robust. Their grand strategy was to create new relation with other small barbarities. Very important for them to be small because they are big. So they wanted to control this new graph of relation due to barbarity. And they realized that it was a very big problem, the issue with Greeks. So in fact, they don't want the Turks because they love them. No, they just want to remove of the field the Greeks. Why the Greeks? Not only the Greeks, also the Armenian, the Assyrian, even the Jewish. Why? Because in reality, all these people are related with time. And you remember that they need a Markov chain. So they need a tabula rasa, and they prefer to have a country at its beginning. So in fact, an empty country, a country without history. So just a space without time.